Speaker, question to the Premier. People have the perception government jobs pay a whole lot better than regular jobs. We know they're right. It's in the research. You know, if you add up wages, holidays, sick days, early retirement, job security, pensions, public servants come in 30% better off than their private sector counterparts. Counterparts who are paying the freight. These are the people who are paid 30% less with no pension. It's not fair, Premier, and you have allowed it to become so out of whack from what should be pay equity. Premier, will you support my comprehensive pay fairness bill this afternoon? Will you support transparency to shine the light on fairness, to restore pay equity between the public and private sector employees?
Minister of Government Services.
Mr. Government Services.
Mr. Speaker, I read with interest the private members' bill, and as far as I can tell, what he's interested in doing is establishing more bureaucracy at Queen's Park in order to oversee a negotiation process.
The member from Bruce Grey Owen Sound is warned. Who's next? Carry on.
Mr. Speaker, a labor relations environment which over the last number of years has seen a number of agreements between the government and the unions that are represented here at Queen's Park that in fact have seen restraint across the board.
The member from Renfrew and Nipissing Pembroke is warned. Carry on.
Mr. Speaker, the government has concluded, I'll give examples, 2 collective agreements with its 2 largest unions, OPSU and AMAPSIO, as well as the Professional Engineers, Government of Ontario, and Association of Physicians and Dentists in Public Service. All 4 contracts that were negotiated, the most recent ones, include 2-year wage freezes that will help the government fight the deficit. Mr. Speaker, on this side of the House, we're taking action, not asking for more bureaucracy.
Parliamentary.
Well, back to the Premier. It sounds like a bit of a start, but the research is in. C.D. Howe, Frontier Centre for Public Policy, the Fraser Institute, Canadian Federation of Independent Business, the Federal Treasury Board, government jobs.
The Minister of Energy is warned. Carry on.
Government jobs pay more. Higher perks, higher pay, higher pensions. It's not fair and it's expensive. Drummond says half the Ontario budget goes to public sector compensation. Half of $128 billion is $64 billion, and they are being compensated at 30% above market rates. 30% too much. That equals $19 billion a year. You're paying public servants $19 billion over regular market labor rates. Premier, again, will you support transparency? Will you support public-private pay equity described in my bill? Will you
Thank you. Member, sit down. And I don't need the member from Timmins James Bay to tell me how to keep town. Thank you. Answer.
Mr. Speaker, I know that the members opposite don't like to read the budget and didn't read the budget, but I will ask him to break that and read page 126. Agreements have been reached with bargaining.
The member from Holland Norfolk is warned. Carry on.
Agreements have been reached with bargaining agents representing nearly 50,000 or over 3/4.
The member from Halton is warned. Carry on.
Or over 3/4 of the Ontario Public Service employees. The agreement reached with the MAPSIO and the Professional Crown Employees of Ontario includes a 2-year wage freeze and the restructuring of merit pay, short-term sickness benefits and time-off provisions, which will result in cost avoidance of $24.6 million in 12-13 and $30.4 million in 13-14. The agreement reached with the Ontario Public Service Employees Union, OPSU, includes a 2-year wage freeze, a reduction in the entry level. It goes on and on. This agreement will avoid costs of $34.1 million in 2013 and $37.4 million in 2014. We're taking action. We don't need more bureaucracy.
Thank you. New question, the member from Algoma Manitoulin.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker.